Hey everyone, and welcome. So today we're going to tackle a super important and, honestly, a very high-scoring chapter in maths, profit and loss. You know, this is one of those topics where you're pretty much guaranteed to see questions in your exams. And the best part, if your concepts are clear, full marks are totally within reach. By the end of this session, you won't just understand the basics. You'll be ready to solve even the trickiest exam questions with confidence.
So let's kick things off with a really simple question. Think about it. Whenever you go to the market, buy something, or maybe sell an old gadget, how do you really know if you got a good deal? How can you tell if you made a profit or if you ended up with a loss? This is something we deal with in our daily lives, and today we're just going to look at it through the lens of mathematics.
Okay, let's get into it.
You know, to really master any chapter, the first thing you've got to do is understand its language, its basic terms. This is the absolute foundation. Think of it as the ABCs of profit and loss. Once you get these terms down, trust me, half the battle is already won. All right, our very first and most important term is cost price, which we'll call CP for short. It's simply the price you pay to buy something. In other words, it's the kharidne kadam. Just remember this, the cost price is your initial investment. And then on the flip side, we have the selling price, or SP. This is the price at which you sell that item to someone else. Simple, right? It's the bechne kadam. So it's crystal clear. CP is for buying, SP is for selling. And it's the relationship between these two that tells us if we've made a profit or a loss. Now, this is where it all comes together. This slide basically explains the entire concept in one single glance. Take a good look. If your selling price, your SP, is more than your cost price, the CP, well, that means you sold it for more than you bought it for. That's a profit. But if your cost price is more than your selling price, meaning you bought high and sold low, then you've made a loss. So the one thing to remember is SP greater than CP, that's a profit. Okay, let's move on to the most crucial part of this chapter. These formulas, they are your most important tools. But hey, don't just memorize them, you have to understand them. If you can grasp the logic behind these formulas, I promise you, no question will seem difficult. Think of these as the master keys to the entire chapter. Now I need your full attention on this slide. What you're seeing here are all the essential formulas. This is the heart of the chapter. Look at the top. The simple formula for profit, it's just selling price minus cost price. Right below it, for loss, cost price minus selling price. Now let's talk about percentages, because that's what exams love to ask. Profit percentage is profit divided by cost price, all multiplied by 100. And loss percentage is loss divided by cost price times 100. And here's a golden rule. Always, always remember that whether it's profit or loss, the percentage is always calculated on the cost price. Why? Because that was your original investment. You should definitely take a screenshot of this. We've covered the basics really well, so now it's time to put all that theory into action. Let's start with a nice, simple question to build up your confidence and show you exactly how to apply these formulas. Okay, here's question 1 from our source. The first step always is to write down what the question gives you. So step 1, we have a cost price of 300 rupees and a selling price of 360 rupees. Right away, you can see that the SP is bigger than the CP, which means we have a profit. Now for step 2, let's find the exact profit amount. The formula is SP minus CP. So 316 minus 300 gives us a profit of 60 rupees. But the question asks for the profit percentage. That brings us to step 3. We'll use our profit percentage formula, which is profit divided by CP times 100. And finally, the last step, step 4. Let's plug in the numbers. We have 60 divided by 300 times 100. So 60 over 300 is just 1 over 5, and 1/5 of 100 is 20. So our answer is a 20% profit. See? It's all very systematic and easy when you go step by step. Awesome work! Now that your foundation is solid, let's look at a type of question that shows up in exams all the time. It looks a little tricky because of the way it's worded, but don't you worry, I've got a fantastic trick for this that will let you solve it in seconds. So here's the question. It's question 13 from our source. The cost price of 18 articles is equal to the selling price of 12 articles. Find the profit percent or loss percent. Now, this is where students often get confused, right? Because there's no direct CP or SP value in rupees. It's all about the number of articles. But the solution is way easier than the question sounds. And here it is, a brilliant exam trick. Whenever you see a question that says CP of X articles equals SP of Y articles, all you have to do is one simple thing. Interchange the numbers. That's it. So the number with the selling price, which is 12, that becomes your new cost price. And the number with the cost price, 18, becomes your new selling price. So now the problem is simple. CP is 12 and SP is 18. We can clearly see SP is bigger, so it's a profit. How much? Well, SP minus CP is 18 minus 12, which is 6. Now we just find the profit percentage. Profit over CP times 100. So that's 6 divided by 12 times 100. 6 over 12 is just a half, and half of 100 is 50%. Easy, right? You have to make a note of this trick.
All right, let's quickly summarize everything we've covered. Before you walk into that exam hall, these are the few crucial points that need to be absolutely clear in your mind. Think of this as your final revision checklist.
So, let's do a quick recap. Point 1, profit happens when the selling price is greater than the cost price. Point 2, loss happens when the cost price is greater than the selling price. Point 3, and this is the most important one, never forget it, profit or loss percentage is always calculated on the cost price. And finally, these 4 basic formulas you see on your screen, you need to master them completely.
So, now that you know all the rules of profit and loss, just think for a moment, how can you use these ideas to make smarter decisions in your own life? Whether it's buying a new phone, selling something online, or just managing your pocket money, these principles are useful everywhere. अगर आपको ये वीडियो हेल्पफुल लगा हो तो प्लीज़ लाइक, शेयर और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना। सारे PDFs के लिए मेरा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करें, लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में है।